Good day. Welcome to another edition of Spotlight on Mayapack Schools. I'm Eric Gross, your host, along with Superintendent of Schools Anthony DiCarlo. Anthony, outside Fulmar Road School today.
Yeah, and so similar to what we did at Austin and Lakeview, we're going to take the public through what it's going to look like, AM, PM. Mr. Chadwick will take us through that. We'll go into the building, take a look at what that is, cafeteria, other spots, because as you know, we would have liked to have done these a little bit more quicker, but we had the storm, and so we had to delay both the middle school and Fulmar, but we're going to do those today and get them up onto our website. As you know, a lot of people are looking at it. They've been appreciative of what the new normal will be, but it's important for everybody to understand this is a collective effort, and we're standing here, 2.5 weeks before school opens, but a lot can change between now and then, as you know.
Gary Chadwick is the principal here at Fulmar Road. Gary, good seeing you again.
Nice to see you, Eric.
So it's been quite a summer for you and the staff here at Fulmar Road.
Yes, there's been a great deal of preparation, and I have to tell you, it was a little sad coming to work in an empty school building. Typically, we have a number of camps that take place here at Fulmar Road. Kinder camp, math camp, reading camp, STEAM camp, all of those, we're just not here, so it's not the same. And we're out front where students typically come to school, and we're looking forward to their return in September.
Now, when the children come in, of course, they'll be coming in on the buses. Sometimes parents will drop children off. Where will the buses be pulling up, and how will the children be entering the building?
So we're anticipating more parents driving, I think, than a typical school year. So we've kind of thought about that, and we are designing the arrival process so that there's multiple entrances. So typically, buses line up here and begin unloading at 9 o'clock. We will continue to do that. We're just not going to be unloading all at one time. So we're going to start by unloading 2 buses at a time so that students can socially distance heading into the school. And we've also, once they arrive into the school, have identified hallways with a line down the middle so that they're staying on their side of the road per se. And all of our stairwells have been identified as either up only or down only, so that students know how to travel when they're traveling to and from different places in the school.
We'll go inside and check out the school, and Gary's going to take us on a tour. But before we do that, let's take a mosey on down and find out where parents are going to drop their children off here at Fulmar Road.
Sounds like a plan.
Well, Gary, we're here in a parking lot adjacent to the school, and normally the parents would come in and drop their children off right in front of the building. Now they're going to drop them off in the parking lot.
Right, so we are anticipating more parents driving and picking up, so we have put some plans in place and staff to assist in that process to make it as smooth as possible, and also making sure that we are using multiple entrances to the school just to kind of spread students out so that they can socially distance. So typically parents are coming up Fulmar Road, coming through the parking lot and dropping off over there. So this will be the new spot. We'll have cones out here in the morning, people greeting you, cars will stop, and then students will exit, head down towards the blacktop and enter through one of our side entrances of the school. And that will look very much the same in the afternoon. Parents will be coming up here. We'll have the students on nice days outside, socially distant. We'll have walkie-talkies just checking to see who the families are here to pick up. Then we'll send the students up and really do our best to make it as seamless as possible.
Just say, do your best. These are unprecedented times in education.
Without a doubt, but I think parents will agree that the Fulmar Road staff always goes above and beyond, and our number one priority is to make sure that we're keeping our students safe.
Okay. Shall we take a walk inside the building?
Sure.
Let's do that right now on Spotlight on Mayapack Schools. Well, Gary, we're here at a typical classroom at Fulmar Road. How many students will be assigned to this classroom?
So in this particular classroom, this is one of our typical second grade classrooms, and what we've done is we've set up a desk for every student that is intending to come in. So in this class, it's about 11 students. So it's a range, anywhere depending on, certain classes had more families decide to go full virtual than others. So it can vary anywhere between 8 and 12. Our fourth grade is a little higher, so they may have 13, but that's pretty much the range. And we've been working to make sure that all of our desks and students are able to socially distance from one another in the classrooms, which meant we removed a lot of our typical furniture that would be in a classroom. our rugs, our flexible furniture, our bean bags, and a lot of that stuff unfortunately had to go so that we can make room so that we could really spread out the children to keep them safe.
Now, teachers will be teaching both virtually and in person.
That's correct. So this is, last year, being in education for 25 years felt like the first year for me. And I think that last spring felt like the first time for everyone. And I think we're going to kind of have that feeling again going into this year. You always look forward to doing something for the second time in education, but we've never done this where we're teaching students both in class and home. But I know our team is working to provide some professional development so that the teachers, they're never going to feel 100% comfortable, but we're going to do all that we can to help them learn and grow with one another to best serve the students.
You want to instill in parents these next couple of weeks before school's about to begin. Start working with your children about wearing masks, about social distancing. It all starts at home.
Yes. So that's been a message we've been sending to our families. I know that Mr. DiCarlo has incorporated that in all of his weekly updates. I had the good fortune of seeing our incoming kindergarten students. We were able to screen them one at a time and socially distance with them. And I have to say, granted, they were only there for about 45 minutes, but for our 4 and 5-year-olds, it was really clear to me that they had been practicing wearing their masks, and I was really impressed with the way they came in, and I'm really looking forward to them coming into the school.
Okay. Where to now, Coach?
I think we'll take a walk and take a look at the different stairwells, whether they're going to be up stairwells or down stairwells, and talk about that a little bit.
Let's do that right now. Well, Gary, while the hallways will be coming and going, the stairwells themselves, one up and one down.
Correct. So we're here outside of the Fulmar Road Library, and the main stairwell, boys and girls, that typically we use to go down and up will be down only. So all the students will be traveling down the one in the center of school, and then once you're down, if you need to come up, that there are hallways on both ends of the school, and those will be used for coming up as well. Couple other things just to add. One of the perks of coming to school is having lunch and recess, and we certainly know that students like to get outside and like to have lunch. Lunches will be served in the classroom. Students will still be able to bring their lunch from home or have it delivered to the classroom, and we will get our students outside for recess and physical education as much as possible. So on days like this, we want to get them outside, get that fresh air, be able to socially distance and run around a little bit. It's really difficult for adults, for kids, for everyone to sit in the same spot all day long. So we're going to get them outside and make sure they're getting some fresh air, as will the classroom teachers take breaks to take students outside so that they can catch a mask break, maybe find a nice shady spot at the campus and read a book and do some outdoor learning, whenever possible.
You talk about lunches. Of course, Mom or Dad makes lunch for Johnny or Susie. That's fine. The lunches delivered to the students, will they be in sealed containers?
So I haven't seen exactly what they're going to look like, but my understanding is that they will be prepared and put together by the food services Aramark, similar to what they did to prepare for lunch pickup during the summer months and the times we were out of school when families needed a lunch.
And you talk about the dedicated staff here at Fulmar Road. We're walking around the building. The number of teachers you see walking into this building today, getting their rooms ready, it's amazing.
It's incredible. I always kid around that some of these people never have a summer, and depending on the time of summer, the traffic, the weather, but it's extremely dedicated staff here that want to be comfortable, that want to get their space so that it feels comfortable for them, so that they can work, closely with their students. But yeah, they're here, they're doing bulletin boards, they're organizing their classroom libraries, their desks, and all of the lesson plans so that they're ready for September.
And you talk about doing education out of doors. We're blessed to live in a community like Mahopac in Putnam County. Imagine in a large city how difficult it is for those educators to teach their kids out of doors. You can't do it.
Right. I can't imagine. I mean, I was watching the news, I'm sure, like most of you yesterday, and saw that down in New York City, they're adding increased bandwidth and Wi-Fi to the homeless shelters because, unfortunately, the data I heard was 10% of those students in New York City are homeless and living in shelters, and they need to continue to do remote learning. So we are very fortunate to work in such a great place. As excited for my 14th year as I was for my first year. So I'm blessed to have such a committed faculty and staff, and love working with the families of Fulmar Road.
You're 14th, but it's going to be different.
For sure. Never like no other.
Gary Chadwick, thanks. Well, as you said, it's going to be an unprecedented year. We wish you the very best of luck for the 500 or so children here at the Fulmar Road School.
I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to, like I started, with having students back in the school. I look forward to standing out here at 9 o'clock in the morning and seeing the excitement of our students coming back into the school.
Boss, it's going to be unprecedented.
Yeah, it will be, and I think echoing what Gary is saying, and it's really important because I think the kids want to come back to school. And everybody talks about wearing the masks and it's going to be an issue. I think they're going to adhere to the rules because they want to stay in school. They don't want to be home. No. They want to be here. They want to be socializing, although it may not be with a full class. It'll be half the class, but getting into a routine, even though it might be 3 days a week or 2 days a week, depending on the blue gold schedule, I think it's really important, not only instructionally, I think socially, emotionally, it's important. And we want to have the best possible year that we can, and I know we will because of the leadership of principals like Mr. Chadwick and all our leadership teams. We're ready. We're anxious. We know that a lot can change between now and the opening of school, but we're eager to get our students to come back. And as you see, and Gary mentioned it, and I just spoke to one of the teachers, and she said, Mr. DiCarlo, it's new for us, but once we got here and we're able to kind of figure it out and understand what it's going to look like, we feel a lot more comfortable. And I think as teachers are coming back and getting acclimated to that, we're going to see more and more of that because you know what? They love the kids. They want to be here also. And
kids are so resilient.
Yeah. They are. And I think that part of it, though, that's difficult, and let's be very honest, it's very different. The parents are really struggling with the fact of, how do I make this happen, from a child care point of view. And we are trying our best to work with our outside providers to see what we can be able to do to try to help with that. But it's not easy. Because remember, across the country, not just in Mahopac, for many, many years, grandma, grandpa, or auntie or uncle watched kids. You can't take that chance right now. So that continuum that we know is somewhat different, and it's how we have to be able to work within that.
Superintendent of Schools, Anthony DiCarlo. We thank you so much for joining us for this edition of Spotlight on Mahopac Schools, featuring the grand reopening, and we'll say it again, the grand reopening of the Fulmar Road Elementary School. Have yourselves a good day. Until next time, be safe. Bye-bye now.
For more information, please visit our website, www.mahopac.k12.ny.us.